Hi everyone, so I'm here today with a blush review for you. I'm going to be reviewing and demonstrating the NARS blush that I hauled a little while ago. And I think a few of you were interested in how I would go about applying this blush because it is so bright. So I've used this blush probably a handful of times now, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the color. So again, this blush is called Exhibit A, and it is this really bright, bold red/orange shade. It's really a bright red, but it leans a little bit orange, especially in some lighting. Blush itself comes in this little cardboard box, and there are 4.8 grams of product, so there is tons of blush in here, and because you have to use so little, this blush will last literally forever. The actual recommended usage time is 2 years, but I'm going to be taking care of this blush, so I'll probably have it for a lot longer than that. The blush itself comes in a really sleek compact, but as you guys may know, the NARS compacts have kind of a matte finish or a rubbery feel to them, so it does attract a lot of fingerprints and makeup, but I don't mind that so much. I like my makeup products to look a little bit worn and not look pristine all the time, so I'm okay with that. And just incidentally, I love the NARS logo and the font. Opening up the blush, you have a mirror on the top that takes up pretty much the entire lid, and then you have a little clear plastic sleeve that just protects the blush and also keeps it from getting all over the mirror. So sometimes I keep these and sometimes I discard them. It all depends how often I use the blush and also if it's getting annoying to have this in the way every time I open the blush. So I've used this blush probably a handful of times. I really do like it, but as you can see, it looks like I've barely touched this blush. To apply the blush, I use my MAC 187 brush, and I really like this brush to apply really pigmented blushes because I find it provides a really light touch and doesn't make you look too clownish. So I also have the smaller version of this. I think it's the 188 if I'm not mistaken. And that brush would be good too, but I just prefer this one. I generally like a bigger brush for my cheeks. So this blush is extremely pigmented, so when I go in to pick up the product, I literally just dab it in to pick up a very tiny bit of the product. Now that I've gone ahead and picked up some of the product, I'm not going to be swirling this onto my face because this is going to leave a lot of pigmentation and make my face a little bit streaky or blotchy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a clean paper towel, just going to dab off the excess. So I'm going to go ahead and just start swirling this onto my cheekbone extremely lightly. And I'm taking care to blend it so I don't have any lines of demarcation or any streaks or any blotchiness. So that's kind of the first pass of the blush onto my face, and I think I could use a little more and I could make it a little more even. So I'm going to go ahead and dip my brush in again and apply some more. And again, I'm just going to dab off the excess onto my paper towel. And then I'm going to go ahead again and working on the same cheek, I'm just going to start blending that in and buffing it in. So I'm pretty happy with the way this looks. In real life, it looks a little bit more pigmented and a little bit more deep. I know you can't really tell on camera because the lighting in my bathroom is washing me out slightly, but I want to keep a really natural looking flush, so I'm not going to put too much more on. I'm just going to put on a little bit more just right in this area here because I feel it will blend out a little more nicely with the pigmentation that is on the higher part of my cheekbone. So I'm going to go ahead one last time, just dab my brush in a little bit to pick up the product, take off the excess, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply it to where I think needs a little bit more. So that is basically it. I know it's a really subtle looking flush, but in real life, like I said, it looks a little bit more pigmented and a little bit more obvious. And I am actually going to be going out after this, so I just don't want to put on too much more. I know I can put on a little bit more so you can see it better on camera, but then I'll look a little too clownish when I go outside. This is the cheek with the blush, and this is the cheek without the blush, and I think you can notice a very subtle difference. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the blush to my other cheek. And because I had actually already built up the color on the brush, I found I didn't need to dip it into the product as many times. Actually, only one time was enough, and I don't want to deposit again too much color on my face. So I'm going to leave it as is, and I'm just going to blend it out a little bit. So before filming this video, I did have a little bit of bronzer on just for contouring, and I also had some highlighter on. So that's why you see that sheen here is from the highlighter, but I had no blush color on. So my face is very devoid of color when I don't have any blush on. So that completes my little review and demonstration of the NARS blush in the shade Exhibit A. Again, I am very happy with this blush. I love that you can use so little to achieve a really nice flush, and I find that this works warm and cool. It's a bright red, so it reminds me of Snow White, which I find to be a very cool looking look in terms of color tones. But because there is an orange undertone, I find it also works when you have a bronzed face. I don't have a whole lot of NARS blushes, but I find the quality of this blush to be very nice. It's finely milled and it's also very pigmented. The color payoff is excellent, and I think you do get value for your money because there is so much product and you need so little to achieve a natural looking flush. So that completes my review of the NARS Exhibit A blush. I hope you found this review helpful, and if you have any questions, please do leave them in the comments section down below. That is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until I see you again, please take care, and bye for now.